people like emotions.
Haven't felt one of those in years. Isn't that what women feel? Emotions. Isn't that what makes us better? Isn't that our superiority, is that we don't feel emotions? We're not held back by such petty things.
So all my brain did was go, that's offensive, you can't say that. That's offensive, you can't say that. That's offensive, you can't say that. And I'm just sitting here, not able to say shit.
It's your live stream. I'm trying to get you canceled.
I'll do that on my own. To be fair. All right. Anyways, how's it going, guys?
Nancy Pelosi pooped on a pug, and the pug. We gotta get in the zone, bro. We gotta get in the fucking zone.
The pricked pickle pepped the pirate and the pecker
was pernicious.
And that's how. Oh, Jesus Christ. Wait, turn it again. This is going to be the weirdest.
This is what we do before we go out too. This is how you get in the zone.
I just masturbated.
That works.
Oh, shit.
That works too.
All right, so anyways, now that you guys are tuning in and watching us do shut the fuck up. Oh.
All right. Syphilis.
No one's sure. All right, so guys, how's it going? So we're doing a live today, and as you can tell,
should be about, by the way, for the camera, we want to be about the same.
Oh no, it's happening again.
Yeah, well, you said you want to look at the camera, right? So.
Oh, fair enough. All right, so you guys over here, you guys just go and watch us do this video. We're actually going to be paying attention to this, but we're going to answer your guys' questions, though, as soon as we are done with our questions.
I mean, the ones that don't suck.
What?
And to be fair...
See, come on, they're my audience. Your audience might have
Oh, right, yeah, of course.
Mine's perfect.
So, Rollo Tomasi does that, and people watch his videos, so he does it to the side.
Oh, fair enough.
Maybe he doesn't like the way the front of his face looks, I don't know.
Oh, so it comes from this angle?
Yeah, he comes from the side.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, in that case, let's go down the line. All right, so now that we've done that, we have a bunch of things that we actually want to go through with you guys. So I have written down a multitude of different topics. The first one actually being the 8 archetypes of men that women are attracted to. So I've been thinking about this for a while, and a lot of them do have very similar traits in them, which is actually what people like about these guys in general. Mm-hmm. They always have certain energy about them, but there's still the archetypes within that energy. The mannerisms inside those guys, they're all pretty much, they have like certain fundamentals, but overall they have almost their own flavor. So for example, the CEO, the guy who is very dry, he has no humor, but he's very, very dominant, and he's just very in charge, and he just assumes you do what I say. Oftentimes these guys do pick up the girls that work for them, to be fair, but they're actually very attractive if they can get into an environment where they are perceived as being attractive as well. These kind of guys are very good at it because they're so assumptive.
Well, doesn't that kind of it begs the question, because you said they sleep with their employees, but why let's say I used to work at this fast food restaurant that for whatever reason had a lot of hot girls that worked there, which usually fast food, that's not the case, but yeah. You know, there's exceptions to every rule. There were a lot of hot girls, and the manager, who was, by the way, not the most charismatic, not very good looking, not funny, like you said, but he's the fucking boss. He's the boss. So I'm only like a boss. Remember good old days?
You're saying he plowed him. He plowed him.
So he slept with all the women who worked there, pretty much. He got in trouble later for it. Got moved to a different location, with no women.
Oh, Jesus.
But this is before things have changed. That's less acceptable these days. But that's what used to go down at restaurants. Maybe it probably still does. But it's more frowned upon these days. However, the reason they were attracted to him, because it's not like he was charismatic and funny, but because he's the boss. He has that energy of telling them what to do. It's almost like fatherly energy, perhaps. It's it's like someone that you're used to just doing what they say. And it's a kind of like the dominance and submission polarity, right? There's a polarity there, a sexual polarity, kind of like 50 Shades of Grey. Why is 50 Shades of Grey so popular? It's all about that polarity between dominance and submission, which is a turn-on. The man doesn't necessarily have to be the dominant one, but for our intents and purposes, that's the case, and that can be very attractive to women.
Well, for women, they almost want a guy that they can, I always say this, and I know you hate this phrasing, But the way that I put it for myself, it's women want
Predatory movements. Is that the one?
Not this one. Not this one.
Oh, that's my favorite. Predatory movements. That's
So-
going to be CNN, by the way.
It's
CNN article.
Tate's gonna take it from me, and he's gonna say he did it. It was all him all along.
Well, then he's going to get CNN, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, fair enough. So, it's fuck. You do this to me. Now I forgot. I'm too ADD for this. Alright, so fuck.
Well, you did smoke a little before the video.
I did. Well, that
makes you more ADD.
Fair enough.
Gets a creativity flowing.
Well, all right. The next type would actually be the type that's like similar to Ray, where Ray is just very charismatic, and he's like our friend.
I know
Right.
Ray. Yeah.
How would you explain?
I'm trying to think. What is that archetype?
He's very smooth. He's very confident. He's a little bit over the top, very cocky, hyper cocky, like over the top cocky to the point of it being like he's very. And he does it in almost like I have a lot of friends who do this. They're just very verbally witty. They're very witty. And they're just very confident with it.
I would describe the energy or the archetype as either like narcissistic or sociopathic.
Yeah.
Or you could just say the dark triad attractiveness, which is psychopathy, which is basically the same as sociopathy, Machiavellianism, and narcissism, I believe. Yeah. And those three traits, it's basically like you just don't care what people think, so you don't have the same limitations other people have when it comes to expressing yourself. You say anything, you will offend people without any problem doing that, but you're also extremely charming because you just don't have that filter or that wall that most people do. Most people have they put up a wall of niceness and politeness, and these dark triad types don't have that, and that's something women find very attractive. That's why why do they find criminals attractive? I'm trying to think of the term. There is a term for it. It's very hard to pronounce. But women, it has been found in psychology that they often find serious criminals, including murderers, attractive. You know who had a lot of followers that were women that were in love with him? Ted Bundy. Yeah. Right, and also of course Marilyn. What's his name?
Manson.
Not Marilyn Manson. No, that's I mean him too, but he's not a serial killer as far as he did get canceled though. By the way,
no, it's
Charles Manson.
Yeah.
Charles Manson as well. They had women who were obsessed with them, and even the archetype of vampires, they're murderers, right? Yeah. But that's seductive. Think about that. Like all the vampire shows or whatever, the characters murder many people in the show. Like Damon from the Vampire Diaries or whatever, he murders tons of people.
Well, they look dangerous.
And yet, exactly, he's capable of killing for her. That's the fantasy, I think. Is like this guy would kill someone else or kill a panther, whatever the fuck it is, for me, right? He can protect me.
I had this girl that told me she's like she texted me over serial. She said like, "Wait, are you a serial killer? Because that would be totally hot." And I told her only on Tuesdays, and she said you earned 10 points. I was like, yes.
So want to hang out on Tuesday?
Actually, that's what I'm saying next.
Oh, did that just happen?
Yeah, right.
So you free on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Let me turn the AC off just so it doesn't fuck up the audio.
Fair enough. All right, another type of personality that is considered like this would be the Peter Quill of personality.
Peter Quill, okay.
The goofball. But the goofball that does it, but is also talented. Because if you're gonna be this kind of goofball, one, you don't do it in a supplicating way. You don't supplicate, which he does a lot, and he's been getting at a lot more as time's gone on. But he also like has this rogue, talented, like kind of like fly by the seat of his pants energy, which I guess we could just call him the rogue. The rogue would actually fit him pretty well.
I think Paul Rudd's probably a good example of that in basically anything he plays.
Yeah.
Or Ryan Reynolds. His character.
Yeah.
Very roguish, but he's a little less dorky because I think Peter Quill's a little bit on the dorky side.
Ryan Reynolds would be considered way more attractive, to be fair, but they're both considered attractive, but it's because of the status, which is what makes it work.
Ryan Reynolds' character is a little bit less makes himself look dumb less, basically, right? He's kind of annoying occasionally, but he's also very skilled, he's witty, and he doesn't give a fuck also.
I agree with that.
He's willing to be dorky. He's willing to say whatever comes to his mind. He doesn't have a filter. And it's kind of an opposite way of the previous one. Right? They're willing to be silly and goofy. They're willing to be self-deprecating because why not? They're just expressing themselves and they want to have fun and they don't need to look cool.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. It comes from a place of freedom of outcome. They're not doing it to get a certain. It's unlike the dancing monkey where they're trying to get shit. They're just doing it for them, which is what makes it work. It's like this. There was this one time where I think it was the Peter Quill actor. He made He made a really out there farting joke.
Okay.
And while he's in the thing, and it got everybody in tears, and it actually worked for him. and it was very cringy, to be fair. Okay, so another type of personality that would fit into this role would be the
The one who said 8.
the Messiah character.
The Messiah. Okay.
Like kind of Michael Jackson, Tyler.
You say Michael Jackson? You mean?
No, like he has the Messiah effect. Like
really? Michael Jackson?
Like, all right, so back in the day, I'm gonna say nowadays, but almost like, or the Michael Jordan, like basically somebody that's been so that's almost
Michael Jackson, the singer?
No, okay. Let me put it a different way. It's more like
Martin Luther King? Is that
kind of like that? Yeah. Basically, where they almost become a religious icon in a way in society, which you can actually fake this, to be fair, if you're one of these guys.
So who are examples of that in recent history? I think maybe Obama.
Elon Musk, honestly. Elon Musk is there.
Clinton.
Like Elon Musk doesn't have most of the traits that should make him that way, but it actually makes him attainable for girls because he is a little bit shyish.
Stalin, if you go farther back. Trying to think of but people who have the charismatic leader archetype, basically.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, here
Why is that attractive?
It's because the person has all the stats in the world, and the person is almost set above the girl in a way. But the guy is also not perfect. The guy actually has like flaws in him. So when the girls usually talk to these kind of guys, they're like that kind of energy. They can be a little bit more down to earth. So they're not like who was the guy that did it a little bit over the top? But actually that works too. To be fair, that actually also works. To be fair, it's just mainly those
JFK. That's a classic example.
Yeah, it's massive. It's so much social status that you also become like a Jesus Christ character.
Okay.
And the next one is actually one that I have fallen into, like, how do I put it? Presenting as a character when I talk to the girls, which is the wild mess.
The wild mess. The broken boy? That's
broken
girls
man.
call you broken boy.
The broken man. It's been my game lately, broken man game. So the idea behind this is that you're almost this just wild stallion that they can't put the saddle on. They can't tame you. They can't hold you down. And that makes it kind of difficult for the girls to connect with that. Not even connect. That's not the right word. They feel like they don't feel judged by you. Like, so if you're this mess and loose and you're always free and you never judge for anything, you could be way more wild, and the girls are willing to do more wild shit with you because you're not like their boss. You're the opposite. You're this fucking mess that's just so confident for no fucking reason, and you're just so like, how do I put it? Like you're again coming back to the monster almost. Like society wants to tame you, she wants to tame you. You're just like, no, fuck this, and you just like you're burning brush fire, and they're trying to hold you back. Like,
so you're like a hurricane.
Exactly.
And they want to be like the levees that stop the hurricane.
Exactly.
And it's attractive because it's like chaotic energy is unpredictable, right? That's what chaos means, and unpredictability is exciting. Unpredictability is most men are so boring because you know exactly what they're going to do, exactly what they're going to say. You know the process and how it's going to go. That eventually the girl loses interest. It's not seductive anymore. But when you're chaotic, she has no idea what you're going to do to her, if you're going to leave, she's just completely enthralled and engaged, kind of like a Netflix special where you don't know, like Game of Thrones, the early seasons got predictable later, but you don't know what's going to happen next, and that's what makes it so exciting. Like something crazy is going to happen. You know it's not going to be like uneventful, but you don't know who's going to end up dying. Hopefully it's not that extreme, but you don't know where it's going to go, and that makes it exciting because most men, basically, they simp themselves so much that the girl just has nothing to look forward to, nothing to wonder what's going to happen. She's just like, she wants out. It's like dating your fan, right? Like you're a celebrity dating your fan, and you start to get this claustrophobic feeling of just like, just please. It's so boring and routine.
Well, it's also push-pull. There's an inherent push-pull in it too, because if you're wild and like all over the place, honestly, just by being that, you have the ups and you have the downs. It's also it's a little bit, it's like how to put it, the highs highlight the lows and lows highlight the highs, and it becomes like crack, and it's something that I don't know, it's probably not the most healthiest of things, and it's something that I've actually have worked on pulling out of my game, but that's definitely something that does happen to me inherently just by my my upbringing, like the stuff that's happened and stuff like that. So it's something I'm working on actually on fixing, but in the meantime though, it is working, so I don't take it as too well, to be fair. Here, well, actually, I want to get into the next one. The next one is the popular kid, the kid that is just friends with everybody. Like nobody hates him. He's just beloved. Like, do you know that kid that's just like he's just like the popular good kid, the positive upbeat one that everybody's like. It's almost like he's like the presidential figure in any social circle or any area. Like Sean knows everybody. Sean is kind of like the popular kid.
Mm-hmm.
Who's another character? Norman. Norman's definitely the popular kid. Norman, the promoter.
I don't know.
Oh, you never met him? Okay, never mind then. Who's one
Not that popular? I don't know.
Well, let me think. Who's a guy that actually might be fitting this character in normal society? It'd be like, all right. You know the jock who's like the friends with like the band, who's friends with the geeks, who's friends with the nerds and the like. He's also friends with the popular kids, the cheerleaders, the footballers, the. He's just like friends with every social circle.
Well, no, I didn't because I was in the chess club. So.
Okay, fair enough. Well, all right. You know the one popular kid who came around and talked to you? And was really nice to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that kid.
Right.
Yeah, everybody has that kid in their school. I had like 3 of those kids like that I met throughout high school.
David.
Fuck you, David.
Took my girl.
Oh, David. But we like you.
I will get vengeance.
David, you're so great. I fucking you, but I like you. Oh, it's so conflicting. Yeah, fucked all our bitches, didn't he? This guy's probably over here like, it's okay, guys. It's all right. You're doing great.
Nah, he's a manager at a gas station now. Look who's laughing now. What?
And that's when everything fell apart.
Just kidding.
All right. And honestly, now that I finally got through...
Is that a good note to end on it? All right, next one.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
All right, so what I wanted to get into...
That was only 6.
No,
you said 8.
Yeah, I can count. All right, so our journeys and what to expect starting from beginning and how we plan to improve in the future. Do you have like, do you want me to go through mine first?
Sure.
Okay. So when I first got into this, I was expecting to levitate and hypnotize bitches, and surprise, surprise, I just had to become a normal, cool human being that.
Oh, I saw you do that earlier today.
Yeah, they hypnotize people.
Yeah.
What are you talking
I was just trying to get your back, man.
about? Oh yeah, yes. Now understanding. Jesus Christ, I'm so slow.
But sarcastically.
All right, so just sit up now. Just be all proper. All right, so I thought it was going to be like this insane, I don't know, superpower in a way, but it actually ended up becoming a lot more intricate and even cooler than what I originally thought, which is in a weird way. It's there's a way of getting like extremely good at game. Don't get me wrong, and yeah, it's a lot of fun chasing it. I would say this: if I got as good as I thought I would, as fast as I did, I wouldn't enjoy getting good so much. It's like every time like I make an incremental improvement, I'm like excited, and I'm like, hey yo, bro, check out my new toy. I show you like some new trick, or I show you some new way of being. I'm like, I speak like this now. I'm like, watch this, bro. Just use pauses, and then like I start using pauses the night out.
Yeah,
it's like a new toy that I'm fucking around with. I'm like languid speech, like languid. It's like it's how do I put it? Drawing the vowels. That was like a fun one for me. So you can make yourself sound cocky.
Can I try it? Drawing the vowels.
Oh, no, I'm saying it turned on.
That's. Sorry if I turned everyone watching this on a little too much.
Check out his OnlyFans.
Yeah, starting an OnlyFans of me just saying vowels very long.
So the ways I plan to improve, I actually have 3 different areas.
Okay.
Mainly, it happens to be business. It happens to be personal growth, health, wealth, all that kind of shit. And the last one is game. Like game one's pretty big for me, to be fair, because it correlates to everything we do. Becoming more charismatic.
Yeah.
It's so I write down stuff on my own years like a weirdo. I practice every day. I check exercises. Yeah, we have.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, you go for it, Sean.
Keep talking, but.
Yeah. Well, like take pictures of all this shit. Like, Sean, you gotta show them happen too.
Sure.
They're gonna be like, Denton is crazy. So. We do a lot of stuff here for our stuff.
That's something I look whenever. Okay, so if I bring a girl back, I'm just like, yeah, my roommate. He's a sociopath / a serial killer, but only on Tuesdays. So it's Wednesday. You're safe. You're fine. Just don't come by on a Tuesday.
Yeah, no Tuesdays. Wednesdays suck too, but that's just more of a temperature tantrum. Where I plan to take my game, or like how I plan to improve, is by doing all that stuff. I want to keep my focus very clear. I want to have a very clear target that I'm shooting for, and then I want to have an actionable plan that's like step by step. So for example, I'm trying to get better at dancing, so I can do dance game in a year from now, and I can be really good at it. So what I start doing, I wanted the smallest incremental like stop to get me there because that's how you build habits. You start taking little actions that lead to big actions.
If you want to learn dancing, by the way, this applies to you and everyone watching. There's dance games on the VR that show you how to, make it sexy. So just a suggestion, just putting it out there. And if you're wondering why I haven't been putting out as many videos, there's your answer.
Yeah, if you guys actually want to see me dancing, I've been catching them on my Instagram. If you guys haven't seen my Instagram, Ben Fisher, add me.
Mostly it's boxing, which looks just as
actually the boxing was fun. The boxing was hilariously fun.
Yeah, there's a boxing game on there. Yeah, it's very fun. It's it's actually kind of good for working out, but that's a different topic. So what you're trying to prove on is you were saying dancing.
Yeah, I write down so many different notes. Yeah, well here, let's jump into you now.
Okay. That's all you wanted to improve? You didn't have any specific goals or
for them?
Yeah.
Hey, here, I can get into that. Here. If you guys want to use this to improve, this is what I say. Focus goes, energy flows. It's always the biggest answer. Have very clear goals. Have very clear goals, and then baby chunk it. Maybe you can have a stretch goal, but if you have a stretch goal, let's say like your goal is to make $1 million. You're not going to make $1 million. You need to break it down piece by piece. How are you going to make 10,000? How are you going to make 20,000? How are you going to make 50,000? Like you have to have very actionable goals and have a step-by-step process. And if you don't have the step-by-step process, you have to be creative. It takes time. For me, figuring out my exercises, I had more time by myself, as you guys probably will too. Like coaching myself and trying to learn new ways of improving. I was studying all different fields. That, by the way. Oh, this one right here. Mm-hmm. All right. I was having a hard time with finding the exercise and finding new ways of improving. So I started watching again YouTube videos, watching all this stuff, watching my contemporaries, the guys that were in it. I would get coaching. I would talk to them, and I would sit down and I write, and I'd be like, okay, look, what's the next step? So what do I want? I'm like, what I want a good game. Well, what is good game? And I had to clarify it for myself. I'm like, what are the guys that have the results that I want? Oh, those guys have this? Cool. Then I'm gonna start watching what all of them do the same. This is actually how I came up with the fundamentals of the game. I looked at what everybody did the same, and I copied it. Well, then I started looking at mannerisms. Then I started thinking about mindsets. Then I started thinking about ways of putting myself in their head. And nobody's cut from a different cloth. So the cool thing about this is you can just literally take the habits, mindsets, and beliefs of somebody else, the way they move, speak, the way that they think, and you can take this for yourself. You can visualize, practice visualization. That was something I started doing, and just start embodying yourself. And as you keep stealing the pieces, you'll actually find yourself sliding closer to what they have. So you want to be good with girls? Copy the guys that are good with girls. You want money? Copy the guys that have money. If you want dope ass friends, try not being an asshole.
Or try being an even bigger asshole.
That would actually work.
So when I first learned about game, the fantasy for me, the appeal of it. I got this.
I'm not going to
be a Heimlicher. So what got me into the idea of learning game was I was very socially awkward. I was not an introvert, but I was just very uncomfortable. I had high anxiety, and I was very awkward around people, and I would get teased, I would get made fun of. People would just make a fool of me, and I would make a fool of myself. And so I read the book The Game. I learned about the idea of pickup, watched David D'Angelo courses, and I thought, I imagined myself like 10 years after high school, because I knew it wasn't going to happen during high school. I was like, there's no hope during high school. But maybe 10 years later, going to the reunion and then like pulling my crush from high school, the hottest girl from the class, like 10 years later, and like showing all the other the other guys there and being like, see ya, like watch me, and bringing her home. Funny enough, like 6-7 years later, I did actually run into my biggest high school crush, she was a model when she was younger, very attractive. We ran into each other at a bar and we hit it off, and I was kind of, the fantasy had come true. I was a lot more smooth and a lot more charismatic and confident with women. But then as I talked to her, I realized she's, what's the word, trifling? She's annoying. She's like, I don't even like her. Like, what did I even see at her? She is not at all, that's not, well, okay. It happens, right? There's this fantasy and then there's a reality. So it turned out that when I didn't have the perspective of being this desperate little kid who's just like, oh my gosh, she hot, I realized that she wasn't the kind of person that I would want to date or even have a one-night stand with. And she invited me back to her place. And I was like, I actually have to go home, and turned her down. And that was kind of the full circle. I think that was the full circle, is when I realized, first, I can't get anything. I can't get women. I'm just completely kind of an outcast. I don't really have many friends. Then I get to a point where I can, but I'm kind of trying to show off how cool I am. I'm getting good at game, but there's this part of me that's doing it for the wrong reasons. I remember once I pulled this girl that looked like Gal Gadot, and all my friends agreed, oh, she's really hot. And I pulled her, but I didn't really like her. Like, I didn't really have chemistry or get along with her.
Mm-hmm.
Pulled her, brought her home, and like showed all my friends her pictures, like, oh, look how hot this girl I got with was. And then I realized, well, that was hollow.
Yeah.
That was for the wrong reasons. That wasn't what game is really about. That was like just totally for ego. And look, if I actually liked her and we had chemistry, that would be fine. But it was this idea like, I need to get the society's perfect 10. Mm-hmm. And then I've arrived. Then I'm good enough. Then I have value.
Well, that's actually what makes those girls like you too, to be fair. That's what makes guys like you most of the time.
Was that you don't have that. You
exactly.
Let go of that.
Yeah, you actually care about who she is, so then she starts chasing you.
So it depends how you define dimes, because there's the kind of dime that is the social climber that kind of likes that toxic energy or that taking energy.
Yeah.
That is attracted to that, attracted to the sharky, right? The shark that just wants money, wants to build an empire, all that kind of stuff, but doesn't care about offering value to the world or connection or anything like that. They're just like dollar bills or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what they're attracted to, and you can get those girls, but you realize at a certain point, maybe that's not even what you want. Maybe that's not what you actually want. Maybe what you want is actual intimacy, actual connection. Yeah. And it doesn't mean hotter isn't better. I'm not saying it's not, but that was the full circle moment, realizing that that fantasy was hollow in a lot of ways, but going through that process, having that as a motivation still helped me get started. However, what a lot of people get stuck at is that level and don't go to the next paradigm, right? That's the thing with a paradigm. You want to evolve past it and do another paradigm. The one that gets you to get ripped or to get you to start making money, that might help you, like being poor and having this desperation, that might get you there. But then if you're doing it in a way that's kind of like taking advantage of people with money, let's say, like you have a business like being a used car salesman. If you never evolve past that, then you get stuck there and that ends up limiting you in a lot of ways. So that was kind of my journey, what I got into the game and then what I got out of it. And it really becomes about, for me, it's about a free expression, that feeling of social freedom, some people call it, is one way to put it, a feeling in the zone of just not caring what people think and being able to just enjoy yourself. Lightness, not that heavy, judgmental, I need people to see me a certain way kind of energy, the free, charismatic energy, right? That's the best part about game. It's not even getting laid. That's cool. I mean, that can be great, don't get me wrong, but that isn't the peak. The peak is that actually feeling of just connection, freedom, intimacy, being able to like have a memory with some random person, even if it didn't lead to sex, but that is going to have some kind of impact on you, right? It's something that's always going to be there. That is what game is really about to me, and that is what ends up happening. Now, in terms of how I plan to improve, well, I'd say, because you talked about all your different goals, right? So business, fitness, and game being the ones that come to mind. With business, I just want to get to a point, for me, I like measurable goals. I want to get to a point where I'm making 10K a month passively. That's my goal. I make more than that through active means, but I want to make that passively so I have this freedom, basically, of, look, if I want to do more and I want to work 40 hours a week, 80 hours a week and make 10 times that, I can do that, but I can still get by fine making 10K a month without having to do anything, just like on autopilot, right? So like, it's a good example. Austin Summers is a good example of that. Even though he does a lot of in-person coaching, he doesn't have to post any videos on his channel anymore. He hasn't posted videos in months. I'm pretty sure he's doing fine because he's got enough passive traffic to where he doesn't have to worry about that. So that's one of my goals, to get to the point where I'm making 10K a month passively within let's say 6 months at most. Because I make somewhere 2 or 3K passively a month, which is decent, but not enough to where I feel like I can just let go of everything else. So
you're making a list of things to like in a way to improve it, or you're like doing some study?
Well, the way to do it is going to be posting YouTube videos more consistently with creative new ideas, better titles, more infield, things like that. Trying to post like one video every day, not trying to, that sounds fucking...
We should do
fast.
We should definitely, we should go back to the original rule that we had, where it's like every time we go out, maybe we should like just mic up every time we go out. That way we can like...
That's what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
Like before we leave, we have to mic up. So like I already got my mic, you have your mic, and I think that's what we should start doing. That way we can ease into it. And then if maybe you start filming me while I'm doing it, we can pull back the audio and I can sync up the audio, so then we can have the infield.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. Doing more animated videos, working on my lead pages. There's like I have a long list of things I can do, but it's more about spending more time on those things, right? That's the I know what to do. It's the doing more of it, and this goes with all three: game, business, fitness. The biggest thing holding me back is I just spend too much time at home, and all my bad habits are associated with being at home, especially like in my room, just laying in bed, watching YouTube. That's what, watching like the new Halo came out. I'm sure some of you are aware of that because a lot of nerds are into pickup. And it's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty fun. I used to be almost pro, not quite pro, but I was like, in Halo 3, I was pretty high up there in the top like 0.1% of players or something. And I played like 6 hours a day. And so I got the new Halo and I started playing that a lot. Things like that that's what's holding you back. It's just watching too much Netflix, too much Hulu.
That's why I cut your cord.
Well, I did that, yeah. I cut the cord of the Xbox so I couldn't play it. But that's, that's going to sound weird to people, but oh well. It works, and I spend too much time on those things. I think having those things as relaxation is fine, but why not do that when you're on a date? Watch a movie when you're on a date, or at the end of the day after you've already been productive. What I do is the first 3 to 4 hours of the day, I waste a lot of time on those kinds of things, and it gets me in this just lack of momentum. It's like inertia, right? Motion creates emotion, or motion creates, what is it?
Motion
An object in motion stays in motion, object at rest stays
No, that's not
at rest.
No, motion creates emotion.
I'm talking about inertia. Inertia is.
Oh, gotcha,
yeah.
Gotcha.
So now we both mess it up, so we're equally. we're equally.
Well, I mean, we decided to do a video at live video at what is it, 2:30 in the morning?
That's our excuse. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going with it.
That's our excuse.
Don't make it say it like that. Say it like confident. They're gonna believe it.
Yeah, that's our.
Yeah, that's why we're out there.
That's a solid excuse.
Hey,
All right. So for me, the biggest thing is I want to just make sure that first thing I do, I could just literally go, there's a Starbucks like 5-minute walk away, just spend more time like getting out of the house and starting the day with that, the object in motion, right? Start doing things so that the momentum goes in a positive direction, because momentum is very powerful. If you start the day in a good note, it's much easier to keep it going on a good note. I also have a morning routine I want to start doing, which is just meditating and doing a little workout, things like that, to start things on the right path. And then in terms of game, I just want to make sure that specifically in terms of game, I just want to make sure that I'm not drinking too much is the biggest thing. That if I drink, it's maybe 1-2 drinks max, and that I just don't get drunk, period. Because since I moved to Vegas, I never used to drink much. But since I moved to Vegas, I've been drinking a lot more, and that has led me to not make as much progress for a number of different reasons. But when you drink, you can't really build momentum. You can't get into a better state. It gets rid of approach anxiety, but it also gets rid of positive feelings of momentum. You make mistakes. You spend too long with a girl that it's not going anywhere. You don't even like her, but you're just like not aware of the bigger picture. Mm-hmm. And also your game isn't as on point. I've got an infield where you can see where I've had a few drinks, and it's just not nearly as good as the infield where I'm sober. My voice is even higher pitched, funny enough. Like, it makes my voice higher pitched, slur my words a little bit, all those kind of things are just sloppier. It's just not as good. And that is the number one thing that's been holding me back. And then the number two thing is just taking a 30-day challenge where I just challenge myself to go out at least 30 minutes every day for 30 days to get the momentum really rolling. So that's the other thing I'm going to do for that. And then with fitness, it's just I'm going to make sure to be counting my calories, weighing myself in the morning every day so I keep track of the progress, and then counting my calories and starting with a goal of something that's like 2,300 calories, and then which is not too restrictive, and then slowly reducing it. And also making sure I buy food from like a grocery store as opposed to Uber Eats.
Understood. Fair enough. Well, here, let's go to the next one. What makes someone good with girls in our opinion? What is actually good with girls? So for me, I don't think of it like, so a lot of guys would be like, I think a lot of guys get almost this because what's good with girls is most guys don't even know what that even means, because most guys who are supposed to be good with girls in their social circles, they're like, he's a natural, and every time they always say this, it's always some narcissist or sociopath who's pretending like he's good with girls because he doesn't feel very confident and he does feel confident with the fact that he's not. I've seen people that are good with girls, and it's a different thing. It's not what like most people have actually seen. I mean, like people like it's almost like when I saw it when I was younger, when I see people like this, it's almost like this mirage or like this. You see like a black swan or like a what is it, like a pink alligator, a white alligator, like just like what the fuck is that thing? Maybe like it just comes to the surface and just dips back below. Like the fuck? Like is that the Loch Ness monster?
Well, I got distracted because Black Swan, Mila Kunis in that movie, the scene with her and Natalie Portman.
Yeah,
oh my god. Woo!
She was hot. Yeah. She was. Yeah.
What were we talking about?
I don't know. We're talking about girls now. That was got me completely off topic. We were talking about what makes you good with girls.
I look for interesting. Be right back.
Hey, no worries. So I'll put it this way: the guys that are good with girls, you gotta understand that most of them are running systems of some kind. A lot of them, to be fair. A lot of them, like so, I run systems. Like pickup's a system. Like it's not like these guys are out here just not like they're not fucking like unless like a guy that like gets laid a lot. He's not just passively just sitting there and the girls are approaching him. Like you guys, like I think a lot of people in society have this idea. This guy, the girls are approaching him. No, it's not happening. Girls don't approach guys. Almost never.
Unless he's
like,
a B-list celebrity or
yeah, but that's if he's a B-list celebrity. If like your local, I don't know. All right. So the girls that approach guys are like 7s. If like outside of like a celebrity situation, you get approached. Usually they're like a 7 at most, an 8. You never get a 9 or 10 ever approaching a guy. Usually it's very rare.
I had a coaching client who's in the MLB, who's a legit like professional baseball player, and very tall and good looking as well. Mm-hmm. And they still were struggling despite that. And look, I mean, if you're a household name level famous, mm-hmm. if you're who's I don't watch baseball. Who's a famous? There's that one guy.
Oh shit, I don't know. Just say some famous baseball player.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Sure, that's
the most relevant. Like that's like 100 years ago. If you're Ken Griffey Jr., then yeah, at that level, like girls are just coming to you. But even like I've had, like minor celebrities, right? People with maybe 500,000 YouTube subscribers, or people who are successful male models. I've even had a very well-known male model who's struggling. Not struggling maybe as much as some guys, but they're struggling way more than you would think. And the women, they thought, oh, I made it, and now the women are supposed to come to me. Unless you're like, look, if you're a rapper or an EDM musician and you play concerts and you tour, you're gonna get girls from touring, right? That'll happen. But other than that, unless you're a legit celebrity, it's not. They're not just gonna come to you.
You have to be really, yeah. So I'll put it this way: I had a friend who did some Calvin Klein modeling, and the guy was at most he had a.
You refer to me as a friend, I see.
So this guy,
I'm a special dad bod edition model.
So he would.
Relatable, comfortable.
A pillow.
For your man who looks like a pillow.
He's so much more comfortable than washboard abs. I hate. Oh my god, they're so hard. When I have to lay on the abs and like the glistening body of this Greek god, I hate it. I want to be the Play-Doh guy. The guy who looks like a Pillsbury Doughboy. That's the man I want.
The dad bod underwear set comes with a bra for free because you know you're chubby enough that you need it.
Ooh.
Dude, on sale now at Calvin Klein.
There's actually like some like fat.
We're inclusive.
There's these suits now that for these fat guys, what they'll do is they're like these shirts. They'll actually pull their body in and their body weight.
So a corset, right?
So.
But for men.
We need
corsets. We're wearing them now. We're actually 250 pounds.
Below the belt. So. All right. So.
You got big thighs.
I'll mix systems. So you guys are like just maybe doing pickup or just doing this or just doing that. You guys should do multiple systems. I used to create like a lot of so like social circle. If you guys aren't taking advantage of social circle, trying to. I mean, it's like the reason I did it was because of ego. I'm like, I'm just gonna do this, and anybody that doesn't do this is an asshole. And everybody, they're all just like being lazy. But really, you should merge systems. And like going out pickup makes your social skills incredible.
I'd say you really need a caveat with that though, because the thing about social circle. I've seen people have incredible success with social circle, so I'm not saying it isn't possible. It's not valuable.
I'm saying it's good.
No, I know, but here's the problem: people who get into the social circle like funnel, right? That little like part of the whole pickup thing, they get stuck in that part. A lot of them. Well, I don't cold approach because I do social circle. I don't actually like make a move when a girl's like trying to come home with me because. well, I'm trying to build my social circle. I'm not gonna invite her home with me because I'm building my social circle. Okay, I'm building my social circle.
Yeah, well,
I've met guys who do it for months. They go to the social circle products and boot camps and all that, and they're just like, I'm building my social circle. And they don't get laid or get any dates at all because that becomes a crutch. It becomes an excuse to put off something that's more challenging to your ego, which is like taking the risk of immediate rejection.
Can I make a counter argument actually?
Go for it.
All right. So what if maybe the people maybe the people that are also doing pickup and only pickup, maybe they're also making rationalizations too. Because I was making rationalizations about social circle. Maybe it goes both ways. Maybe like both of them would like help you out. Maybe like why not triple it up? Why not quadruple? Why not find as many systems?
All right, let's put it this way. So if you do people you know who do pickup and only pickup without social circle, do they get dates and pull and have successes?
Yeah.
All right. So guys who only do social circle and never do any pickup, how many of them are successful?
Not very many, but there's also not that many that get good at this. To be fair, this is not exactly easy. This is something that you have to really work at and like with consistent effort over
Yawning
time.
doesn't make your argument more believable. By the way. No, but like okay, but are you like the point is how many people do you know that only do even let's say someone like Luke, RSD Luke, you know what he did? A lot of pickup before he did social circle. Right. Or our friend that we know who's really good at social circle.
Oh yeah.
We know he got laid when he was like 13, which that could be why he might cause problems. But I heard his stories. It was cold approach. He did like ski slope game. You remember? Like he would go in the slopes and like pull and teach them and pull them. Yeah. He was approaching. He was doing pickups.
So
and then he built to social circle. Yeah, how many people do you know that only ever did social circle, never learned pickup, that succeeded? Usually, that started from zero, and that was the path towards success.
Usually, from what I've seen from those guys, it becomes pathetic because what they end up doing is they'll surround themselves with girls, and then they have no social skills. And then what happens is the girls end up using them a lot for their money or their status, something like that. And none of the girls actually care about them. They'll try to creepily get in the girl's pants. And the girls will all say shit behind the guy's back and then fuck us.
That's social circle without game. And to be fair, actually, that's what most people kind of do, right? They try to, like, in high school, they try to build a social circle, try to get to know people, get connections, get to the party, and then eventually make the move on the girl in their social circle, right? And occasionally that works, but how good are those results compared to someone who only learns pickup and then learns social circle?
I'm writing down title for you for the video, maybe something like that. Like social circle versus pickup. That'd be
social circle. So
whoa. Like, see Michael Sartain in the bottom of the comments being like, "Fuck you guys."
We'll have a little picture of Michael Sartain with like devil horns. Social circle is for betas.
Fucking losers.
Which isn't true, but my point is, it's like if you had to choose one or the other, pickup is going to get you immediate results, and it's like not beating around the bush, and it can't turn into this crutch where I'm doing social circle, so I'm never going to actually take a risk or ask a girl on a date or make a move or try to pull. And that's what people who try to learn social circle exclusively tend to do. That's what I've seen many times. And a lot of like RSD Luke students, so you've probably seen what happens.
Yeah, I have, unfortunately, but there's really no shortcut in this. If you're not getting girls now, you need to start changing. You need to start switching stuff up. The biggest thing is like the ways that you believe in yourself. Definitely value.
Did we finish that topic?
Yeah, let's move on.
I have some as well, by the way.
I'll go for it. Yeah, let's go on yours because my next one actually is crap.
So guys, make sure you don't click away because that next topic is crap. that's going to be a good time.
I'll put it this way: it's not even bad. It's just something that you're not you're not very like you worked on too much, or I never talked to you about. So I didn't know if this is something you'd want to talk about.
I guess we'll find out. All right, so 97 precisely traits that women find attractive, and then a couple sentences as to why women find attractive. The idea behind talking about this, something a lot of guys don't understand, is that if you look at the notes, it just looks like kind of look at the camera with a smolder, right? Give it the what's it called from that movie? The silver, the
blue steel.
Blue steel, yes, the blue steel. Give it the blue steel. There we go. See, now they're engaged. So 97 traits that women find attractive. And the idea behind this is people tend to have this idea that there's one thing that's attractive. It's looks, money, status, or it's just status, or it's just money, or they oversimplify it into being this thing that is one size fits all, and there's one type of man that every woman finds attractive, and you have to be a certain way to get success with women. But the reality is, there is a wide variety of traits that are attractive to different women. Some women will find traits that are traditionally considered unattractive attractive. Now, of course, on average, is confidence more attractive than nervousness? Yes. Is being masculine more attractive to women than being feminine? Probably. Maybe not in San Francisco, but in many places it is. But there are tons of traits that are attractive for different reasons that you can adapt, and that even if you don't have some of the traditional ones, like just that, intense masculinity, you can build on something different that will be equally as effective. Look at Russell Brand, for example. He's not masculine in the traditional sense, yet if you watch his old videos, watch videos of him flirting, him doing interviews, he was incredibly seductive to women, and he dated some of the most beautiful women in the world. It's well known. I mean, he married Katy Perry, who maybe not the smartest in the world, but very, very attractive, very good singer also. Sorry if you happen to be watching this.
No, but that's
Katy
actually
Perry.
That's funny. He's the mess we were talking about earlier.
The mess.
He's the mess,
and also the Jesus figure as well, though.
Yeah,
I think he's both.
Yeah, he's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
So you probably have some hardcore fans.
Oh yeah, of course.
So I guess he's 3 now because he would also be the
popular
kid.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Well, hence why he's one of the most seductive people in the world. I mean, you can combine more than one of those, and it's even more effective.
Well, with my game, I do have some weaknesses in mine, and to be fair, the other ones prop up the weaknesses really hard because so if you have strong fundamentals, the other ones will be propped up in a way. If if somebody came along and had the other things that I lacked that was better, which that's pretty fucking hard. Can you imagine being like, you have to be like,
make sure I get
some level of just tight, like your game would be so tight to even keep up with somebody like Russell Brand. So maybe if there's a Russell Brand out there that worked on his voice and his tone, he'd walk into the interview and he'd be more seductive than Russell Brand. What about that?
Maybe he'd be too much.
He'd be too much.
He's already so witty, so charismatic. Like, he already dominates the room. If you ever see, there's an MSNBC with Morning Joe. He does an interview with Morning Joe, and he takes over and makes them all look absolutely idiotic. At one point, the girl is like completely like lost it. She's having a panic attack of attraction, and she's like married, and she starts doing this with her bottle, and he says, "You know what that gesture means? Mika, I think is her name. You know what that gesture means, Mika? That ring don't mean anything to ya." And she's like starts crying, like she's completely overwhelmed. He takes over, and they're all like, and then the guy's like, "So maybe I should wear clothes like you do, Russell, and maybe then I'd be cool." He's like, "That's superficial. See, you're completely missing the point." And he just dominates it. And if he were also had a deep voice, maybe it'd be too much. I don't know if that'd be relatable.
Man, I don't know.
I'm not sure, because has there ever been someone who's really like that?
It could be a balance. So I thought about it. It could be a balance thing. Maybe it's like his voice is enough like of a so his energy is so punchy that maybe his voice and his voice maybe lightens the load a little bit so he can get away with it a little bit better.
Yeah, my concern is it'd be too intimidating, and it would be hard to relate to if you had all of that at once, right?
Fair.
That his little his edge of femininity makes him more relatable, I think.
Okay, fair.
Right? So 97 traits exactly. We're going to do precisely 97.
Exactly.
The first one I'm going to start with is one you're not going to expect: nervousness. Now, nervousness is not something that is universally attractive. But funny enough, one of my best friends in college, he actually met his girlfriend, who he considered a perfect 10 in his own definition. I disagreed, but she was hot. And she was a great girl. He met her, approached, and was shaking. He was like shaking, had a 2-minute conversation with her, couldn't hold eye contact, was awkward. I saw it. It was rough. But she went on a date with him, and she specifically said, part of the reason I went on the date, I mean, you're cute, but I liked how nervous you were, because it showed that you're genuine and that you're not a player. And being nervous, being a little bit uncomfortable, shows vulnerability. It shows that you're doing something out of your comfort zone, which means you really care. It means you actually care about the girl, right? Because if you're a player that's just like, this is my 10th girl today, you're not going to be nervous at all. You're going to be unflinching, completely confident. I'm not saying that's not attractive to a lot of women, but some women are going to prefer the guy that's a little bit nervous, a little bit awkward, because it shows he actually cares about her, that he's actually invested, and that he's not just a player. Mm-hmm. So that's the first trait. What do you want to do for the second one?
Well, mine would be probably the wide range of emotions. So like having a wide stack. So being able to be, which we can come back to there's individual emotions that are by themselves very attractive. We should probably get to those. But having like being able to hit them with having a little bit of anger and having a little bit of happiness, some sadness. This is more like a long-term attraction thing. It'd be more in a relationship. It's like like a lot of guys, what they do is when they go out, especially when they go out, actually, even when they go out, like a lot of girls, they feel like he's not willing to stand up for himself, and they don't like that energy. They want somebody who's very just loose when it comes to their emotions. Like if they feel something on the inside, it's there. A lot of times when you talk to somebody, they only express a few emotions, like a very small palette of emotions. It's because they're being button pushy. There's something underneath that's not being serious or authentic, which means you care too much about the outcome. And also, a roller coaster of emotions is very attractive to a girl. It's very sexy. It's come back to the crack effect. It's like making you get hooked on the drug, which is the emotion, the way you feel. So that's what I've seen a lot of. I do it all the fucking time. It works really well for me, to be fair.
All right, so you want to be like crack.
Fuck yeah.
That's the second one. Another one is
Pro crack.
Your ability to feel raw desire. Your ability to be completely focused on what makes the woman feminine, what makes her attractive, what makes her desirable, and being able to feel that in your body.
Yeah.
Not just thinking it intellectually. She's hot, and therefore I want to get another lay so that I can get to the next number. Right? That's how a lot of guys in the pickup community, that's how they see it. They're like, oh, well, I should find her attractive. She has a nice buttocks. And therefore, if I put my genetics inside her, that's the energy. It's not that they actually feel it. They're just thinking that intellectually she's attractive. My friends would be impressed if I got with her. They'd be like, they'd like pull her and be like, hey, see how hot she is? And they're not even like, they can't even get it up when they get her naked. Like, and they're like, yeah, I laid some pipe last night, boys. It was good. And she was like, what's wrong? Why can't that's kind of the energy, right? It should be the opposite. You don't care what anyone else, you're not even aware of what anyone else is thinking. That doesn't matter. You're not also focused on yourself and your own insecurities, like, oh, does she like the way I look? Does she think I'm cool enough? No, you're focused on, damn, she is sexy. Like, I want her. She is beautiful. Like, you want her. You desire her. It's primal. It's a genuine emotion, not just a thought. And when you feel something, that spreads between you and the other people in the area. So if someone gets really angry, like fuck you, starts to spread. You start to feel that. You start to be like, oh, you suck. Ugh. Disgusting. It's kind of hard to. It's hard to get angry at that. No, he's got a punchable face, but hard to get mad at him. But you get the idea, right? Like, when you feel something, it genuinely does spread. That's why sitcoms have laugh tracks, because laughter spreads. Even though the show Big Bang Theory isn't that funny, people still think it's funny because it has a laugh track, right? Or Friends. Sorry if you like Friends, but it's not that funny. It just has a laugh track, and that makes you laugh. That's how it works. These emotions spread. So if you feel desire, that often is what sparks the feeling of desire in a woman, and then it goes back and forth. And sometimes women will do this to you, and you can probably think of times in your past when a girl, she just looked at you with this like feminine, like seductive look. That was her feeling desire for you, and you felt like turned on immediately. You're like, ooh, right? You want to do that in reverse, because women are only occasionally going to be the one to spark it, to start that process.
And may I make a suggestion real fast?
Sure.
If we do 97 traits, we should probably bounce through them a little bit faster, right?
No, why not just make it a 4-hour video?
No, it's going to be like a 12-hour video.
Let's make it a 12-hour video.
I mean, I might like to sleep eventually, but I'm down with it.
Nah, sleep is for those who are broke. That's 50 Cent said that before he went bankrupt. Then he started sleeping, and that's why he went bankrupt.
How about we do a full 24-hour live stream, and we just sleep on the couch, and we'll take like turns just going down the line of this. And let's do an easy 1,000. Let's do an easy 1,000. We'll just go all day.
Next one, Next one is physical touch. Physical touch is one that, sometimes that can actually be a turn off, because if you're too handsy and they're not feeling connected to you, and it feels like you're doing it out of like, oh, I need her to like me, so if I touch her and I implement the Kino, she's going to be turned on. I'm implementing Kino. No, that doesn't work. right? That backfires. That feels pushy. It's like I'm trying to push your buttons.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. But genuinely, you feel comfortable, you feel outgoing, and you start touching. I'm not going to demonstrate too much, but you start touching her. That creates a sense of physical intimacy, and it is a turn on. It can create sexual tension. It can make things more intimate, and it's definitely very effective. All right, next one.
Okay, relaxation. So this was actually a little bit more interesting for me. It's every place you go is your home. So you go to the club, you act as if it's your home. Like, how would you sit down in your home? Would you walk over to the fridge without hesitation to grab some food out of there? Would you go grab a ham sandwich? Would you go to a restaurant and walk to the bathroom as if like you're just walking, just strolling through the living room? It's that energy. Like everywhere you go, you're comfortable, you're relaxed, you always feel at ease, and you put your comfort first. A lot of codependents, they'll have this feeling that I need to make sure everybody else is comfortable before I can be comfortable. But you actually, by making yourself comfortable, you make others feel comfortable in your presence. It's you lead by example, and that makes girls a lot more attractive because it indicates that you're high status, because you're somebody that is very it means that you have nothing to fear. When you see a lion in the prairie, the lion is just at ease, just laying there, chilling out, just on its back, yawning, and the little cub's probably tugging on its ear. You see those videos of those documentaries, the lion's just like, fuck you. Like, I was trying to relax and just chill out. Every so often they go and hunt down a buffalo, don't get me wrong, but in those times in between, the majority of the time they're doing is just relaxing.
Next one is intensity. Or you could call it passion. A lot of people, when they talk, especially men, actually I'd say women are naturally better at this. They have a certain type of gregariousness on average. Like they're more just excited about things, right?
Yeah.
They feel more emotion. A lot of men just have the emotions completely stifled out of them, and they're robotic. They're like, hi, how's it going? Nice meeting you. The weather's nice here. That's the energy. There's no oomph to it. There's no soul. There's no human emotion in it, because school, and especially this is like more left brain types who are, say, engineers or accountants or things like that, where all the way they're schooling through college and their job teaches them to not be too expressive and to just focus on the task at hand and to be completely left-brained and logical and not to experience emotions. But just being passionate, being enthusiastic, that makes you more engaging. Right? If you're more engaged, people are going to be more engaged by you. And if you're just like, hey, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. No one gives a fuck. A girl's just like thinking about her own shit. She's not actually able to pay attention, especially like as TikTok comes out, as every year, the amount you need to actually get people to pay attention is higher. You know what a great example is? PewDiePie. Not the new PewDiePie, old PewDiePie. Go back to when he first became famous. He was very intense, and he was also very fake. He was very inauthentic. Hey guys, it's me, PewDiePie! What's up, bros? So here's what I'm gonna talk about, blah, 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 blah. Like, that was the energy. Very fake, very inauthentic, very forced, but intense.
Yeah.
Passionate. That fake enthusiasm was more charismatic to people than genuinely being boring and uninterested. And a lot of guys, it's also kind of like I'm too cool to care, to be engaged. That's another part of it. It's ego as well. But it also gets kind of cut out of you. You learn to be if you're in school. I was going to be given ADHD meds. Thanks, Mom, for not actually letting them do that. They were going to give me Ritalin, and I ended up getting straight A's in college. So obviously I didn't have ADHD. But they thought I did because I was very loud and kind of obnoxious and had this energy. And then the teacher wants to stifle it out of you because the class can't function. So that's what happens over the years, is you lose your passion, lose your energy. But without that, women are just they don't even want to pay attention to you. They don't even want to talk to you. It doesn't even matter whether you're attractive or not to them. It's they're just bored, and they're like, well, I want to go to the warm end of the pool, right? I want to go somewhere else where I'm actually going to be, my emotions are going to be tingled.
Yeah, well, you should have something bigger than yourself to chase. And if you don't have that energy about something in your life, you lose your potency in a good way. The one that I want to talk about was actually, it had to do with tension. It's actually no, I want to go through a different one. Is risking offending others. So people nowadays, this is actually the one that I've seen a lot in men, especially when they come on boot camps. And actually, the majority of guys, I don't know too many guys now. There are those guys out there that can offend people, but they always go over the top. Usually, they're not they don't have a good balance. There's obviously a balance to this. Don't just there's a difference between what's called severing rapport and breaking rapport. Breaking rapport is, it's like a little bit of
Did you
like
say severing?
severing rapport.
Seeking?
Severing.
Severing and breaking, what's the difference?
A severing rapport is basically where you push somebody so hard, like, all right, so let's say you call a girl fat. That's severing rapport.
All right, you sure that's not a good strategy?
Maybe
That's how I picked up your mom.
Sometimes the only thing that's gonna hear that is this right here. They didn't hear that shit. So you know what? Burn denied.
Sure.
This is gonna be this on the video on this one. All right, so
It's gonna be on my channel, so.
you're just gonna do like a.
That's gonna be the whole video, just like that for 12 hours.
Just like
repeat. Yeah.
Put music underneath it, like doves flies.
That's how we go viral.
Like American flag is rising up in the background, and then an opaque like.
Look, we're trying to add value and like educate and shit like that. No.
No.
That is how you go viral. Burn compilation.
Yeah, people don't like being educated or learning things that are actually gonna benefit their lives. It's not.
That's not what makes it. Look at the YouTube trending page. How much of that stuff is educational or valuable in any way?
I see a lot that's twerking lately. They're fucking that TikTok shit's really taken off, isn't it? Man, minors twerking. That's exactly what they should put up there. Not our content. That's the last thing.
By the way, he's being sarcastic because, well, now that's good. CNN got you. They got you.
Jesus.
You're gonna get Alex
anyways,
Jones.
risking offending people. You have to risk offending people, not from a place of trying to hurt them or hurt their feelings. It's empathetic. But you're doing it to your reason you're risking offending others is because you'd rather be authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd also rather have a real conversation with somebody than a fake conversation. You hate fake conversations. You have such a distaste for the fake words that come out of people's mouths and that energy that you were unwilling. Like Patrice O'Neal. Have any of you guys ever heard Patrice O'Neal? Patrice O'Neal was pretty offensive, to be fair. But at least he was always authentic. And there was something about that was just... And that guy was one of the best at getting laid. He was one of the killers at getting laid. He was like all comedians always... Any comedian that hung out around him for any period of time always said he was amazing with girls. And guess
he
what?
was, by the way, if you don't know, yeah, I was gonna say he's over 300 pounds.
He's over 300 pounds. He's this giant fat guy, and he just kills it with girls. And it's because he's like this, where he's just 100% authentic.
Well, now his ghost does.
Yeah, your turn.
My turn.
Yeah. You're gonna know.
Didn't you say not to make it 5 minutes per one, or it's gonna be 12 hours?
Yeah, that was my bad. Sorry.
So...
Well, you went on a tangent too. That was my fault.
All right, Tangent King. Shout out to Playing with Fire. So another good one is, by the way, remember we have to be like the same distance from the camera or the focus messes up, right? Like if we're different, yeah, like it's gonna mess up the focus and one of us is gonna be blurred out and it's not gonna be great. Okay, so the next one.
Who's in charge of your channel now, motherfucker?
So the next one is Aloofness, which is kind of ironic. Because that was almost an example of it just there. Aloofness, and I would describe that as the willingness to walk away, basically. You're not overly invested. Aloofness is attractive because women's biggest fear, generally, when it comes to dating and men, is that you're going to be too pushy, that you're going to be a stalker. Right, that's the extreme version.
Yeah.
Right, you're going to be a stalker. You're not going to be able to let them go. You can't hear the word no. You're not able to respect their boundaries, and that you're just going to keep pushing and making them uncomfortable. A lot of guys do this. I think over the time, the pendulum swinging, where less and less men are doing that, and then more doing the opposite, which is just not ever making a move. Right, which maybe not as bad, but still not. That's still not ideal. So aloofness is just the willingness. Are you still high? Because that look at your, like you're like.
Well, I'm also exhausted too, to be fair. Dude,
2 more hours. I'm Alex Jones. Like, make it freaking frogs gay. 4 more hours.
Well, I just worked on a video till like 7 in the morning.
By the way, tangent. You know what's hilarious to me, and this shows that this might get us canceled, but this shows YouTube has a bias. The 2 Alex Jones podcasts, which I'm not saying I'm a fan of his, I'm not, but he's hilarious. It's very entertaining. His podcast with Joe Rogan, they both go over like 3.5 hours, so they're very good watch time for YouTube. It's good for YouTube to have long videos like that. They both have over like 20 million views, so they're hugely popular. Hugely popular. You look up Alex Jones, it's like the 40th hit. And all the top hits are how he's a conspiracy theorist nutbag. And I'm not saying he's not, but it shows how the algorithm is very biased, which total aside. And maybe the next one is like going on random tangents. That's what's attractive to women. And we just showed it to you.
It actually is, to be fair.
In a way, it actually is. It actually is.
No, it is.
Because it shows it, because it means you're creative and it means you're flowing and you're not in your head. When you're just going on whatever, it it makes you less predictable, less like
it's more like the Avengers, where like they switch from one movie to the next, and they keep going back and forth. You know, then you do the Incredible Hulk, then you're about to get bored, then you switch to Captain America, then you switch to Iron Man.
very eventually still everyone got bored of Marvel
Yeah,
movies.
that's fair.
Although the new one, Shang-Chi,
Actually,
that one was pretty creative and different. I appreciated it. But Marvel did at a certain point start to get a little samey for the most part.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Well, it's also a lot of the most boring conversations you've ever had. It's always about one subject. If you're going on a date with a girl, it's like it's about one thing, and eventually that one thing gets ground into dust, and then they don't want to hang out because like, I didn't learn anything about this person. When you switch up, so girls won't sleep with you. Like this is just gonna be another one. This is gonna go towards the list, by the way, because we already because we're so close to hitting.
We're about 7.
Yeah,
90 to go, guys.
we're around like 80 or something, I think. So boring conversations always come down the line where it's like they just about one topic and they never switch up, and it shows, and like they don't get a really good sense of who you are. Girls don't want to sleep with you if they don't know who you are, and the faster you can get that out, the faster oftentimes they'll want to go home with you because now they know who you are and have a better.
It's like being a side character in a movie that's not developed. A static character is the technical term.
Exactly.
So it's being a character that they have one personality trait, which may be like the soup Nazi. Imagine there was a whole if you ever saw the soup Nazi is from Seinfeld, hilarious character. He runs a soup shop, and then people come up, and he's very particular about how you have to like order the soup, and if you say the wrong thing, like ask for 2 ladles or whatever, he's like, "No soup for you, no soup for you. 1 year." You can come back. No soup for you. And that's his whole character. And people loved it. It's hilarious. But imagine if we made the Soup Nazi spin-off. The Soup Nazi Variety Hour. And that's just the whole show. That's what a lot of guys are kind of like when they talk to women, is they just have this one note, this one personality trait that, because they feel safe with it. It's in their comfort zone. So I'm the introverted shy guy, and I stick to that. So I'm not going to say anything that's maybe a little bit out there. I'm not going to hit different emotional notes. I'm not going to go on random tangents because I want to play it safe. I'm playing not to lose rather than playing to win.
Well, it's actually funny. I actually taught myself how to do these tangents. Originally, actually, this was a pickup strategy. So I heard one of my mentors say, like, they need to express your personality. They be really almost ADD with that.
Guess who that mentors is?
Yeah, you already know who it is. So then, like, I heard that, and I was like, all right, fuck it. So I go out every day and try to be as like, and actually it worked. It worked.
And it worked, and hence that's why the YouTube channel is what it is. So you can thank him.
Piece of shit. It's a piece of shit. Guys that have misplaced their trust in people that have no idea what they're doing.
So being tangential, is there another? Can we add more tangents into that somehow? All right. So next one, aloofness. We almost said like an hour ago. Aloofness. That was a $1,000 bit, by the way. He just broke his laptop. But worth it. Worth it.
It's the mess. It's the mess in me. That's what it was. Look, the girls watch this. All the girls watching now are attracted.
Yeah, was that a demonstration of an attractive trait?
Yes. It was.
What trait was that?
Dominance.
There we go. It's kind of interesting he leaned in when he said it, but
dominance.
Okay, so that was dominance, which is another attractive trait, and dropping water bottles is the best way that you can show dominance, just so you know. He does it actually a lot. That's like his favorite fucking bit. I don't know where that comes from. Unless
I'm dropping the mic.
Oh, he's dropping the mic and it's a water bottle. Okay, now I never knew that. All these years, I was like, that was so random. Why does he drop these water bottles?
Like,
I
always walk around with water bottles and random shit, so I get bored while I'm talking to girls, so I'll flip it or I'll like shoot like a basket or.
Girls are bored.
I mean, they're unentertaining, but they're mainly entertaining for things beyond their words, mainly titties.
All right, well, I'm glad this is on your channel. All right, so aloofness is the next one we're going to get to. We're going to get to eventually. Aloofness is attractive because it shows that you're willing to walk away. If you're willing to walk away, that means you're not going to be that needy, creepy guy that just wants her too much, that needs her too much, that's scared to lose her, that feels like if he loses her, his life is fucked over. Yeah, that definitely adds to the engagement. Yes.
It wasn't a yawn.
I'll make sure to yawn next time you talk about it.
No, I was silently roaring. I'm like so excited to be on this.
Is that better or worse? Is that better or worse? I'm silently roaring like a lion.
No, I'm method acting.
Okay, so
when I walk up on these bitches.
So the next one is.
Watch me do it again.
I mean, you can walk away and I'll just do the live on your channel and sell my products while you go sleep. So by the way, make sure to take a boot camp with me. It's a better deal, okay, guys? It's a better deal. 25% off compared to Charisma Kings boot camps. It's no big deal. Yeah. Okay. So that is women's biggest fear. That is something they encounter a lot, where they go on a date with a guy and then they're not interested, and then he just keeps calling them, keeps texting, keeps hitting up. I've had girls be followed by guys like on campus. I've seen that happen. It was him actually. But I've actually, I've encountered that where women got stalked and had to get like the police involved because that was happening. I've seen that, and that is their biggest fear. And so aloofness. It shows you're the opposite of that, right? You're never going to do that. You're never going to make her uncomfortable. You're willing to walk away, and it actually kind of flips the dynamic on its head, where she's like, she might start stalking you in a way, right? She might start getting overly invested in you and start feeling like, why is this guy so unattached, right? That's something like, if you've ever had an argument with a girl and you are just not feeling, you don't argue with her back, she's like, why are you unemotional? Like, why is this so easy for you to just not care? Why, like, they get so, and they try to get you to, like,
argue.
To get upset, to argue
back.
They want
to see they're emotional, so then they
want to see that you're invested, because too much of that becomes attractive, but it's also, like, they get desperate, right, at a certain point.
Yeah.
Although that's a sign of low self-esteem, you probably want to avoid those girls in the first place. But that's a whole, good luck with that. In the U.S. avoiding low self-esteem girls, and if you're a woman, good luck avoiding low self-esteem men too. It goes both ways, to be fair. I'd say the vast majority of people today have low self-esteem.
Yeah, if you draw one of those girls to you, or you're unwilling to draw boundaries for those girls to an extent where they continue to do that, you're probably also one of those guys that's on the opposite end of the spectrum that's also doing it as well.
Right, it says something about yourself, and that's the part you want to focus on. You can get bitter, red pill, about the girls, but then it doesn't really help you. Right, you want to focus on what you can control. So either ditch those girls in the first place, right? Don't spend, like, they can't divorce you and take half your money unless you were with them for so long that you allowed that to happen. That you didn't see all the red flags, all the signs you ignored. You thought she was special. You started acting like a simp, and then that happened, right? So it doesn't just happen out of nowhere where girls like screw you over. You kind of played a part in that by not having boundaries. And maybe you were doing toxic things that you weren't aware of, and you want to think about what those were and how you can improve. Think about how she could have improved. Well, what's that going to do, right? Just going to make you a victim and give you something to complain about and feel special. But that doesn't help, right? Even if it's true, it doesn't help. So what's the point?
Who's Tangent King again? Was it me or you? Because we were like.
You got called out on a live stream. I haven't yet.
And you come with something catchy for you, so then I can use it against you. Let's see. A.G. Hayden, A.G. Playden, A.G. Faden. Ooh. That was pretty good. That sound that one actually sounds cool though. I don't like it. We're not gonna go with that. We need something. Hey guys, so if you guys can come up with a nickname for A.G. Hayden over here, we will use it in every video, and I'll say trademark your name once.
Oh, here's one. AGDHD.
No, that's cool.
Like ADHD.
Oh.
AGHD.
Oh, AGHD. Another good one actually. Yes, I like that. So it's Tangent King and AG.
Unfortunately, I just created my own demise there.
Well, maybe it's because you knew that I was going to come with something better because I'm so creative.
But yet you didn't. Oh.
I'm going to still do it.
Well, let's see it. All right, so that's going to cover the next 3 hours, so we're going to get to 12 really easy while he thinks of something better.
I got this.
All right. So let's play the Jeopardy background music. Dun, 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 dun,
hey, you want to edit it in?
dun. Copyright strike. Dun, dun, dun,
Well, there has to be some kind of remix to the song to think about it. I bet you can look up a Jeopardy like song, give off the same effect. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody in the views right now is definitely still watching this for that reason.
How many people here?
17. Or
Hey,
12
yeah,
now.
more than you think.
Yeah.
You
You guys need to get some sleep. Stop watching this. Actually, you guys need to go home. Stop. Dude,
Stop!
You 13.
Is the mic even still battery? Goddamn.
These are the serial killers of my subscribers. Stop.
But only on Tuesdays.
Only on Tuesdays. Actually,
Wait, is it Tuesday? No.
Actually, these are my people. All right. I changed my mind on this. These guys sound like badasses. In case of a zombie apocalypse, here's the address you guys want to go to. Come protect our asses, and we'll, in kind, protect you from.
So you know the people who are watching now, what it is? It's the people that they went to their Thanksgiving dinner, and they didn't want to be around their family so much, so they just got fucking plastered. They got destroyed and super drunk, and so they stayed up because they're like just drunk, belligerently drunk, and they're like, oh, YouTube, and they just kept watching because they're just plastered.
Maybe it's just one guy with like 14 TVs, like computer monitors, and it's just
The one super fan.
It's all like all different close-ups of us and different one like close up of your face, one close up of my face, one like watching my hand, another one on your crotch probably. Hey, not mine, dude. You're the one like that.
Because mine's more
you're the one that has that
interesting and
energy.
substantial. Yeah. You walked yourself into
Well,
that.
no, he has to close up on it because it's microscopic.
There we go. But he still didn't come up with the better nickname. So.
Oh, that's right. Well, I got one on a tangent. Give me a second.
That's why you're the tangent king. Well, I do need glasses because you can see how many people it is. I cannot. Superhuman. The next one's humor, which is actually, I think this one you can explain better than me because I know you've done a lot of thought about why humor, what it is socially, like what makes humor tick in a biological evolutionary perspective, and like what it has to do with status. Sure.
All right, let's check it. So this is my theory on humor. I've thought about this a lot. The current idea behind it is so stupid. To be fair, it's like I think it was like string theory before they figured out quantum. To be fair, so I'll put it this way. So the current model was that humor is basically where you take two ideas and you make an unseeming attachment to those two, and somehow that's what elicits a laugh. But to me, what a laughter is, it's a change of frame. It's a change of frame, maybe even in a clever, witty way, or in a way that's very confident, which is why humor, like two people can say the same joke, but if one says it in a way that's not very confident, what does it do? It comes across a little bit off, it comes across try-hard, and then it's no longer funny. But if the person just does it effortlessly, not thinking about it, oftentimes, it rolls. It comes off the tongue. It's like, it's the confidence that sells it. It's the positives. It's why like a lot of the comedians, they have a certain pacing canter and they practice their pacing because you have to practice it. So let's say like we're joking around, you say something to me. A lot of guys actually are afraid of these guys that are like this witty. So sometimes, when we were dressed two Halloweens ago, we were dressed up in the most god awful costumes. I gotta say, one of the most, man.
Mine was sexy, but
my butt looks so great in those booty shorts. Yeah, those pink booty shorts with all the wording on them.
Sure.
Yeah. So what it was we had an unhinged energy in us. And that's how we got away with it, though. We had an energy like we could fuck with somebody. We're not physically intimidating. You guys saw us in person, we're not. But these guys, they see how loud we were.
I don't know about that.
But they're afraid of us.
Physically intimidating. What are you talking about? I was Captain Underpants, by the way, which very physically intimidating costume.
Maybe more vomit-inducing.
In a good way.
Oh no, I went somewhere in my head that I'm not allowed to say on YouTube, so I'm just gonna
Let's not do it.
Yeah. I almost said it too.
It's your channel, so.
Yeah, but it's basically like it's a looseness of brain, and the only people that are allowed to make jokes are the ones that change the humor. They're the ones that run the tribe, the ones that are free, that don't look at the tribe being that big a deal. They're the ones that are leading success usually. So humor is actually a status symbol. It's like the peacocks on a feather of
An honest signal.
Yeah, an honest signal. It means that I'm of status. I believe in my status.
Because so honest signal it's a kind of complex idea, but it's very important to know in terms of attraction. So peacocks, male peacocks grow the large rainbow plumage that looks really cool. The bigger the plumage, the more attractive they are to the female peacocks. But what's weird about that is the bigger plumage actually drains more resources. It requires them to get more food to be able to sustain it, and it makes them slower and less effective as, just in general, right? It just makes them sluggish. But it proves, if they have the biggest feathers, it proves that they are successful, that they are able to get plenty of food to be able to allow that to happen. So even though it's in a way self-destructive, the mate value is more important, the reproductive value is more important than the survival value, so that's why they grow it. Humor is an example of an honest signal in people, because if you try to be funny, but you're not actually the high status guy and you try to fake it, it's going to come across as cringe and awkward, and people are like, oh no, it's like Jay Leno. That's
Yeah.
it. Or Amy Schumer, for example, right? Or Dane Cook. That's the result. That's what happens. It's clearly fake. It can't be faked easily, right? Just like the peacock feathers, they can't be faked easily. It's actual proof of status. Humor proves that you have a certain level of self-confidence, that other people are used to reacting to you positively, because if you try to do it and you don't believe you have status, it doesn't work. It comes across badly.
Exactly.
So it's basically an implication of being high status, and being high status is attractive to women, of course. And then also it's good emotions, and good emotions are attractive as well, right?
Yeah.
Just anything that's a good emotion is attractive. Any positive emotion is fun. It makes you want to be around someone. It's magnetic.
Yeah. Well, that was another one I was actually going to get into, was the positive emotions.
Well, let's do it. General positive emotions.
All right. So general positive emotions, I can tell you the biological reason why I think it matters. I think it's just positivity is an indication your tribe's kicking ass and you're kicking ass. There's two aspects to your own status in your head, which is the status of your tribe, the status of you. If you and your tribe are killing it, you feel happy and good and loose in your body. You're expressing more like. If the opposite would be just stress and fear, and it'd be pain, like a pain of the tribe not winning, of you just suffering. It's the complete opposite. You can't be in a tribe that's in a shitty place, that's in a drought,
famine or something. Yeah.
Famine. And it's harder to be happy. So it's an indication to a girl that you feel this way. Not to mention emotions are contagious. You feel this, they feel it. Who doesn't want to feel happy?
Well, probably like if you're a successful hunter, you're gonna feel really good. Like after your successful hunt, you're gonna feel like, you know, like I feel when I win a game of Halo.
Yeah.
That's the closest that we get to that. You know, like that they have this feeling, this winner feeling, and they feel really good, and then they come back to the tribe, and that energy is appealing. Probably like happiness and stuff is kind of a reflection of that feeling that you accomplished something, that you are that you're winning, and that's something that is of course very attractive to women. What's another one? We got 91 to go.
All right, we have 91 to go. I'm gonna go.
I have one. Situational status. Which this is one that people this is one where people put all their eggs in this basket, even though it's never gonna work for them a lot of the time. Situational status is, let's say you are on the high school football team. Well, being on the high school football team, you're gonna smoke. It's legal here. You know, I mean, they do it on Joe Rogan. And
I don't know if you want that on your.
It's on your channel. So.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay. In that case, my boys don't care. I'm gonna smoke, guys. You're a pack.
Smoke crack, of course.
Yeah, that's what I
It's legal here. So, back to my point. Let me read it. Situational status. So, if you're the, say, the manager of a restaurant, you have situational status. The women there are going to see you as having this certain kind of power and influence, things like that. If you're a DJ at a club, you have situational status, and that makes you attractive in that particular environment. A lot of people meet the women they date in their place of work, especially if they're a manager or have some level of leadership, because of that situational status that automatically makes them attractive. But there's of course a flaw that comes with that, which is because they rely on situational status, they only can attract women at that location. So if they work at, like, I don't know, a Kinko's, are you going to have the most options possible, right? It's only at that one location, that one place where you work. So you're dealing with a very small pool of options when you have situational status. Or if you're a high school football player, well, unless you make it to the NFL, that well is going to run dry. So that's the problem with situational status, is that it only applies in that particular situation. And I've seen that manager that like gets all the girls who work for him, well, when he goes to a bar or club, he's just awkward and uncomfortable and weird and gets no results whatsoever.
You definitely need so I almost the way that I've actually my phone's actually about to die.
That's when you know you've done a fucking live stream, is when the phone dies because you've done it so long.
All right, well, we'll go as long as we can. I'll probably. What do you want to do? Do you want to like? I can plug it in real fast. Plug it into this thing.
So go and pass out.
Well, this phone is now like over a year old, so obviously the battery is not going to work anymore. So, you want to like stop it.
And you're the one who didn't get an iPhone. It's like this guy thinks he's going to get laid when he has an Android. The green text, it's over. Actually, remember the cheerleaders from...
I like making it difficult for myself because it's so fucking easy.
We were with some university cheerleaders the other day, and they were actually saying, like, she was literally saying, whenever we see a guy with green text, we like make fun, we just tear him to shreds and think
yeah.
like this guy is ridiculous. And I kind of like at first I laughed and went in, but I was like, but do you actually like not go on a date with them? Because I was curious, how much of a difference does it make to you? And they're like, and I thought probably not. They're like, no, it doesn't. But still, we still think it's really.
We still
think it's lame.
Well, for me, it's actually kind of funny because usually I'll start fucking with the girls about it because they always say the same shit about it. So then I just go down my canned line list. I'm just like, thanks for being typical, girl. And so then I just start going down the line, just peppering her with like canned line texts that I have like prepared for this. And then by the end of it, she starts lamenting that yeah, the green texts are better. Yeah. I'll show you.
That's how you know you've got a game when you get a girl to say, "Yes, the green texts are better."
Hey, if they're gonna be typical, then I could be just as I could be calculated. So
I did one time have a girl literally say,
well, it's when the girls trying to
"You have an
be
Android," and she's like, "Oh, I'm not giving you my number." It did happen one time, and that's why I bought the iPhone.
Well, girls will rationalize shit. So it's like that one time when the girl was like, he had the headband, so he lost 2 points. He would have been a 10, but now he had the headband, so he's now an 8 out of 10. She doesn't know what she actually wants.
I'm aware of the underlying thing. It was just
No. We're not a funny channel, okay? We're not a humorous channel. No ha-has.
We're red pills. We're red pills. No, serious. Put the women in their place. Put them in their place. Never get married. Oh yes, that is my wife. But never get married. Like, do you know how many red pill coaches there are that they say never get married, and then they're married? Like, that's their whole thing. Spin plates. Oh yes, I've been married for 40 years.
Your neighbors have to think you're fucking crazy. By the way, I'm just putting it this way: your neighbors have to think you're a psycho.
I'm sure they do.
Dude, we blast rap music. We smoke weed. We're yelling.
Most of those things are you. They think I'm crazy, but it's really.
You're the one yelling about beating women right now. Beating your.
Why did you say beat women? Wow, you. It's interesting that's what you're. Oh, now
dying.
the light's gone. Oh no.
Okay. I mean, we're sultry in the dark.
I said you should never get married. How did you hear beat?
Hey, I heard marriage, and all I did was correlate that with beating women.
With your own experiences.
Exactly.
It's just a free association.
I'm waiting for one of the moderators coming here at the wrong time and just be like, there's like a red button, I imagine. They push
YouTube CEO.
It says it's a cancel button, but it's like comically big, and they just push it with one finger, just be pretentious about it, and they go like this. They do this big like over the top motion, just slowly they glare at my face as if I could see them doing this. Beep, and then like all these buttons, lights start going off, like maybe like cheerleaders run around like, yay, get rid of the man that was into the color gray, destroy him, burn his channel.
So that last hit really that last hit of crack really got it going, huh?
This is how I continue to work long hours.
Let me see if I can get this light back on.
It's one of my tricks.
So I guess you can go for a second while I can see if I can
get
it. Do you know where the ring light is?
It is over here somewhere. It should be in the interlude.
We need some elevator music.
I may play my rap music. I don't think any of them want that. And then they never wanted to watch me again.
Strike.
This is so weird though. I just saw it. Which means
yeah, right here.
Oh, I got it right.
Just need a plug for it.
Alright, well anyways. And it died
Still
again.
going.
Well, it's still going. I don't know when it's going to end, so I'll put it like this. So for those guys who are still watching this, I'm going to probably end up trimming it up to here, but I'll probably go and talk to you guys freely at this point. Probably answer some questions before the phone ultimately inevitably dies. So give me about 5 seconds, and yeah.
You start answering questions?
Well, yeah, that's what I was planning on doing. Since it looks like my phone's going to die, we'll get to those. No, wait. There we go. Alright, guys.
Unplugging the Wi-Fi wouldn't work, would it?
Alright, let's go to the very top question, because I don't want to leave you guys out there already here beforehand who've been waiting the longest. Let's see. So voice notes instead of a text is a better way to get more investment online. Yeah, I agree. It depends on how good your verbal game is. If your verbal game is good, I actually like it with certain apps. You can actually, what you can do is you take the speaker of your phone. Here, I'm using your phone as an example. And you want to speak into the speaker like this. And you want to speak like a little bit lower. And this is a good way of sounding a little more sultry on the text, and it gives off the right energy. Oh, do I have to scroll up to the very top of all the comments every time I do this?
Here's how I put it. if your voice is like, if you sound kind of like Tay Social, someone like him, but your voice is like his, voice notes are good. If your voice is like Todd V, don't do it. It ain't gonna work. It's true. If I were Todd V, I would not recommend.
No, well, it's a lot more in my personal opinion. I mean, it does. Deeper voice would matter a little more because
it's not just deep. It's masculine or charismatic, like a
well,
the
deeper in your chest you speak. Yes, definitely. It definitely helps like the attractive energy. Do we need this? Do we need lighting more? To be fair.
Yeah, always.
All right, let's see how much battery I got. I got 3 more %, so we got that amount of time to answer questions.
What's the camera still on?
Oh, fuck that camera. That camera's not my people. That camera's going to your channel. Fuck A.G. Hayden's channel.
So by the way, after that segue, so that was exactly 97 traits that women find attractive. Maybe.
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna say it again.
Hey, Charisma King gang. Shouldn't be saying that. I'm sorry. Self amusement. All right.
All right. So that was exactly 97. wait. That was exactly 97 traits that women find attractive. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Whatever.
And if you guys are watching this without subscribing.
Oh, you know what's a good chance? What's a Black Friday special? Black Friday's now. So what's your Black Friday special?
For the next people, 3 people who've been in this call for this long or who've watched to this point, how about this? 25% off for the next 3 boot camps to sign up. Sorry, it's going to be a 3-day boot camp, 3 days, 3 different people. If you guys want to sign up for it, 25% off. The phone number that you just
plus a massage with a happy ending. Bonus. That's the Black Friday bonus.
Watch them use that against me to get their money back afterwards.
He didn't give me this happy ending. That's why I signed up.
Yes, officer. The pickup artist. That's how that was.
He promised me a happy ending.
Yeah,
that's gonna be the first time he didn't solicit himself, and therefore I'm suing him for not soliciting.
The one time
suing him for not soliciting himself.
Oh no.
Breach of contract, false advertising.
The one time that I decided
to be if you get locked up for that, for not giving them the happy ending.
I mean, they might even flip it.
That would be the perfect end to your career.
Glad to see you guys live. Jeff Bezos, nice. Your guys' true opinion on not saying the name. Sorry, man. Girls are throwing themselves at his feet. No, they aren't. Oh, lady, oh, holy fuck. I know exactly what type of person that for guys, but he's all right. So holy fuck, I know exactly the type of person. My type of guy. That popular guy, but has a super nice to you, and you like him too because
he's the archetypes you talked about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Fair. Yes, that guy does do a lot of complaining. That's a very astute comment, and yes, you are dope for saying that to him. Everybody heckle that guy in the comments if you can. Joking. Don't do it. We're not about bullying. Don't do it. Drawing vowels is a technique used in speech therapy. Oh, I didn't know that. Slow Tuesday for a 6. Hey, fuckers. What's up? You both need a mic each? Nah. We're about projection.
I don't need a microphone because my voice is powerful. You know the song?
Fuck no, I don't.
It's Tenacious D. It's an actual song. It's a Tenacious D song.
That was so alpha. All right. Anybody says alpha. Just
so you know they're alpha.
Exactly right.
It's the most alpha thing you can do. I'm so alpha, bro. Yeah, that's what
Maybe
James Bond was definitely saying that all the time.
I was thinking about trimming this part out, but I'm actually enjoying this. All right. No, because I'm so exhausted at this point that I'm actually just delirious, and it makes me a little bit more engaging. They're like, oh my god, I don't know what kind of aneurysm Charisma King is suffering from, but this is hilarious. All these sociopaths just hoping that I keel over.
You know, someone who's like super homophobic is gonna take the gay joke and is like, "Are they gay?" ? And take it really seriously, and that's who you know. Like, oof. I've seen it done before.
God damn, Magic Man, chill, Jesus.
Oh, is it the same dudes? Wow. That's the super fan we were talking about, huh?
No, he's I think he's actually a boot camp client, if I believe right. I'm not sure.
Well, I don't have good vision.
well,
I
here.
can't see any of it.
Avery, how long did it take you to consistently be able to get most girls to say you sound very masculine and get positive reaction from people? See, I know you asked him, but this is my channel. Okay, all right. What about what's so cool about Avery?
Why'd you raise your pitch when you started? Like, it was about being masculine, and then as soon as you're talking about, oh, but then you raised your pitch and made it higher to answer the masculinity question.
Look, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Instead, you should be like Thor in Avengers.
As
like,
soon as this call ends, there's gonna be
Chris
one.
Pratt.
It's gonna be one.
There's
less
only gonna be one
competitor of the
channel left.
right?
Yeah.
Spread the. Oh, this is how.
You should deepen your
Watch
voice.
you actually something happen to
What
you,
do
and
you
then
mean?
I get accused because I make this
How
stupid video.
did Charisma King get so masculine? All right, you got to deepen it. Don't raise it. How'd you get so masculine?
You know what, man? Look, it's not easy. All right, it's a lot of trouble. It's a lot of hardship. It's a lot of.
You should just do all your videos like that.
You grind, and you succeed.